Mic organ? Sweet. Man, I just got an itchy throat all of a sudden. So, I, this morning was kind of a disaster. Just could not get anything working. But, I got something I kind of like, and I'm going to work at it and see, if it goes or if it works or not. I had a pattern that I liked, and I started, like, trying different things, to, like, flesh it out more, and it was all working, so I was like, ooh, better start streaming it. That way it's for posterity. So basically, I'll go back in the steps. I was just trying a bunch of, like, simple tile shapes, and I really liked this one. And, basically, you know, this is a slight rectangle, and then these just sort of pattern around it. It's just kind of neat, and then having these creases here, so even though you'd think to checkerboard here too, it kind of, I don't know, it's a little bit more sophisticated, I guess. I throw that term around a lot, and it's just like kind of nonsense, but it looks kind of neat. And then I immediately just thought of like some trim or something. I used a lighter color here, and it kind of separates it all out, and it, I don't know, it looks cool. I like it. I also turned on the, oh no, I turned it off. But I was messing with the standard shader. I would like something like this. It darkens everything when you do the standard shader, even when the albedo is all the way up to white. I don't know why. I don't know if you can like fix that at all, but let's do diffuse for now, so it looks pretty good. So then, all I really did was do some gradients like this, so I'll do it on a new layer to show exactly what I did. But I first tried it, you know, right here I'm using the two-directional gradient so it goes in both directions. I kinda, you know, just did the creases like that. I was like, hey, that's like, it's looking good, like it's not looking like trash. And so I just did it for all the edges and stuff. And then I wanted to give a little bit of definition to the these white stripes that go vertically. I forget what this is. I tried some of these too, didn't look very good. And so there's a tiny outline, I don't even know if you can see it, but it's there. And so working from here. So, I mean, it's looking pretty good. We'll probably tone some of this down, but what we're doing is we're going to tile this a whole bunch. This is a huge image. I mean, it's not huge, but it's like, it's 1024. And we're going to tile this like 4 or 8 times, and then do all this like smoky nonsense over it. So what we want to do is get as much stuff that looks good, like that is repeating, you know what I mean? And then we do this like smoky nonsense over all of it, to help break it up and give it unity and sort of differentiate. I also got to look into decals more. I know that's a modern, actually maybe even an old thing, where you don't have this like smoky nonsense, but you decal it in the stage to create variety and stuff. So anyway, I'm just trying to think of what we need that will add, that, you know, as a baseline, what all these tiles will need. I might need to highlight the edges, but I don't want them to pop as much. I don't want this look like this, where they're like popping a bunch. But I do want them to have good definition. So we're kind of just going to be fidgeting a little bit. This is a little bright. I could try toning it down a bit. I don't want to lose that color though. It doesn't have quite the same punch. It almost looks better, but I want that punch. I want it to be... what is its problem right now? Oh, it went back to the last layer. It's so annoying. Show you. Drop it down a little bit. I had this window open. I thought someone was like rooting around. Yes. Yes. So what you think? Give me the feedback. I mean, it's all right, and I'm gonna be trimming it out. I was looking at Final Fantasy 15 again, like just looking for help. Man, that game, like I've talked about it before, it's like super modular. Like even on their wall stuff, it extends down like into the trim and stuff. It looks great. Like you don't notice it unless you're like really looking. So I'm pumped to like sort of try that out. And I knew about it before, but I'm kind of seeing that it's possible that, what I worry about is not being able to like have certain widths. Like if I have these like tiles that are a certain width. But I mean, it's not like I need like super fine control for creating character action environments. So yeah, this is looking a little bit better. Maybe a little thicker on this thing, but I want it to be more like a trim. And I'm thinking this is going to be kind of metallic. And again, when we like tile it out more, like we'll take a section that's like, our texture will actually be like 8, like coming across like this, or like 4x4, 16. And that way we can create sort of, a shimmer across all these like white lines, these thin white lines that go the whole distance. It'll kind of pull on the, the repetition. It'll make it just look better. I dig it. Film 15, you can't have your cake and eat it too. Not sure what you mean by that. Oh, like, yeah, that's true. It's true, you can. And it's slightly blue. Again, I was like trying to get away from blue, but it just looked good. I don't know if it's because I keep using these yellow lights, but actually, now I'm like real curious, just real quick. White light looks so weird. It's like a hospital. Like blue light, spooky. This medley's sweet. Just FYI, watching this Konami NES arranged medley, it's really good. So this pale orange looks really good. So yeah, let's start working on that. And what is that? Well, trying to define these in the most basic way. These tiles. And then, we'll add variety later, but right now we just want really basic. Again, this is gonna make it pop like super hard. Maybe if I just make it real subtle. Gonna make it look really deep, and I don't think that's the look I want. We'll see. I don't want shape dynamics, I don't know. It's really thin, but it looks pretty good. I want to get this area done. And then that starting area. I like the idea of figuring out how to transition to this place. And hopefully I'll settle down and start designing again. Game designing, that is. I have some really exciting stuff I was working on at work the other day. I shouldn't talk about this too much when I don't know for sure, but acquiring abilities is a big part of this game. And beyond just having more abilities to choose from, like that as an asset, like as a player character, but a way to compound them. So no, like every time you get something, your power kind of grows. That seems silly, but to me, it's exciting. Real low opacity. It's like barely noticeable, but it might help. It's like not even showing up. Yeah, it makes a slight difference. It's kind of hard to notice, but I don't like it on this crease. I wonder if I should pull him in there. I'm gonna turn that reflective shader on. It looks so dope. Just hate how it dims it a little bit. It's weird. And there's like, these lights are like kind of on. They only illuminate certain things. It's static stuff. But like real-time reflections aren't static, so. That's why the reflections don't show up here. Ooh, there's the jam right there. It's gonna be dope when I, put lights in the effects and like it'll be all reflected. It's gonna be badass. I know it's like cheesy stuff, but I can't wait. Just checking how it looks. Parts I like and parts I don't like. Back to diffuse. Just looks a little bit nicer. Looks pretty good. You like Z fighting? Hey, it stopped. We got close. That's funny. Man, that's a big burb, no doubt. Seems pretty long, right? Yeah. Duplicate this actually real quick. One more time. Trying to push those whites just to see if it helps much. It makes these creases pop out, but it's not really what we want. We just want definition. Try one thing real quick. Do that gradient. And again, it's that weird thing where it's like, I already did like a black gradient. Let's hit it with a white gradient as well. Just think of that. It's almost nicer, strangely enough. Maybe this is just kind of enough. I mean, there's other stuff that I'm going to do. I'm going to save it, so. I wish. Where's the jam right here? This song is the only good thing about Zen of the Enders. I don't know why people like that game so much. I had like no fun with it. Alright, so I'm gonna do like a simple one real quick. Just like smoking it out. Single song dance, we always do. 20%, spacing, transfer up. Across like that. I'm actually gonna underneath. Looks like didn't look like I want underneath. Select inverse, delete it, so it's just on this tile. And we're gonna do a texture. Smooth some of it out. Oh, this song's familiar, I'm not sure what it's from. And I think it's one of those cases where like I heard the song in a different medley. I don't really know what game it's from. Start with, yeah, it looks good. I guess I kind of just knew it did. Would. In this one, we kind of want a smokier look because it's supposed to be reflective. So we're not going to pull out too many of the like face shapes. It's supposed to be like a smooth. I mean, not like perfectly, but almost. I should just go nuts. It's the exact same direction as that other one. Gotta stop doing that. Trying to like create gradients but with hard edges. Just gives it a nice look. Trying to stretch some of these shapes, create some cloudiness. It's almost too much of a stripe, but we'll see. This one too, what is this song from? I want to know what this one. That's right, Lagrange Point. Watched a TAS of it recently. Floor. It's not great, but it's on its way. That one looks good. Again, it's like super repetitive, so what we're gonna do, just kind of making sure this will look good. But we're gonna make this tile a lot larger. Just make it so much darker. It's weird. It already looks like pretty baller. It's pretty simple. It's on its way. Just keep working at it. So, save this. Just gonna save a copy of it. And then reopen this one. So what we should do, so this is my nonsense layer right here. Paste that down. Control T. I want to do nearest neighbor. God, one of the worst things about Photoshop, you click in here, I swear every other program on the entire planet highlights everything except for Photoshop. It's a double click. But like, fuck double clicking, come on. Put this in the corner. Duplicate it. Hopefully it reached all the way. It did not for some reason. What? It's annoying. Here's neighbor. 50. This happened earlier. I did it precisely 50-50 and it still didn't do it, but then I did it again and it was fine. I don't understand. This seems small again. It's pissing me off. I don't know why. Need to do it slightly here. Control E to merge layers. And then if I line it up, I think I was just forgot this white line extended. There we go. Like that. Control E, Control S. Put this up. It's gonna be too small. So I liked it about that size. So we just go here. 0.125. And then we're back here. This is my nonsense layer. Great. 61. Oh, that makes sense. It's the newest one. Duplicate that. Light it up. I don't really have to do it like this, but you already have one, why not? What we're gonna do, Ubix. Double click, because it's the worst program. This in the corner. Save it. Only one of them is gonna have the smoky stuff on it. But one more. Any questions? Lagrange point has the same sound chip, does it? That's pretty funny. Dude, I just love kingfishers. They're just so cool. But yeah. I know, I resized them a bunch. I thought these octopi were going to be like super huge. I have an idea for a boss that will be. But I don't know, they just looked better when they weren't so big. Yeah, and these guys, these kingfishers, they just look better at that size. Alrighty. So tiled out like this. And this is another way to like sort of create interest. You can like you can go all the way across with this like smokiness, and that'll create like a type of unity. But if you like section it off by the tiles, it gives you a different kind of sense that like, you know, like the tiles, like their own tile, like they're made from something else, from, you know, their own, you know what I'm trying to say, like they're their own cut of tile, because like the veins and the values and stuff aren't, you know, going across each tile, they're like cut up. And even though I didn't do it on this top left one, it kind of looks like it anyway, which is kind of nice. Anyway, let's get to it. Same old song and dance, try and do different directions. We don't want the same shapes appearing everywhere. I'm going to layer this one a little bit. So I want this one to be a little bit more like marble. Does it really have the same sound chip? I thought it was an NES game. What do I know though? I don't know how sound chips work. Another thing you can do, and I'll show you in a second when we do this, it's like, so you have this, and it's like 2 unified, it's like, well, edit, transform, flip horizontal, totally new tile, like it's all broken up, like it's its own thing, but even though it was just a mirror of that. And then after we do that, we're going to do some color stuff. I hate to like jump ahead like that, but not really much else to talk about. I do this so often in like every texture video. It's just helps create unity too, that I started using the same technique, same smoky look, which is good because I'm not too good at making other types of textures. I mean some. I'm getting better. I had some cool metal. Some of my monsters. Control-Shift-D to reselect. Gonna add more value in here. Try and keep some flat values of color too. Don't want it too strong. Just dark in that corner. I'm trying to erase it, it's like dark underneath. Create some smoke, create some value. You can go back in with the soft brush and do perfectly smooth values. Usually I do at the very end and I do like some smokiness across the whole thing. Here it's more like the veins of getting a good gradient. King do wonders. Now I'm getting a good gradient with this technique. Whoop. So I'm just going to pile on some dark there so I can graduate it a little bit more. Let's see. Looks okay. Our first one was a little bit more successful. Looks more rocky. This doesn't look as rocky as I'd hoped. I think this guy up here looks pretty good. So, just keep trying. What is this minimum width thing? I swear, I bet you can set that with like a... Oh my god, it's because of this thing. I wish I could just take that off the toolbar, can't I? Might be a way, but I select that thing all the time. I don't want it ever. I made some of these edges too soft. Trying to harden them again. Double hard. Y'all like double hard? Double hard is the best anime. Double hard is the only anime. Just try and think of shapes you see in rock. Like this looks almost sandstony. Even though we're going for marble, it doesn't hurt. And I've seen some real good stuff where people go in with white to create marble. I'm just so bad at using white. I never like to use it. Even though like the specular part of everything is always exciting, it's just like, ugh, I'm not good at it. So that looks a little bit better. Again, we can see it sort of going across here. So we're gonna cheat. Transform. We'll do a flip vertical this time. So yeah, that's like a separate tile. That thing is just a little too strong. Da-na-na-na-na-na. Why can't I reselect? That's so weird. I don't understand the rules for reselect. It's stupid. It's a little bit too dark there. And these are sort of lacking that smokiness, so I'm going to smudge a bit. And strangely enough, there's like a difference between too soft of an edge and like smokiness. Like, I mean, they're real similar, but they're kind of different looks. One's basically the smudge tool. One's just too muddy, basically. A little bit better. I almost kind of want it more unified instead of breaking it up like that, but we'll see. Can always just start over. These don't take too long. Famicom didn't have a ton of stuff with Social Sand chips. The system, some pre-made Nintendo carts. Mr. Gamic, that's the only one I really don't know, or that I know about. Or know about having a special chip. It sounds like it's partly like the composer, but the whole game feels like the sound of running water, and I really like it. I really like that soundtrack. Dynamics, actually gonna go like 40. We have like more value to work with. We still keep transfer on, so you can just apply pressure, kind of get some graduations. There's like some hills right there. Cut in a little bit to overlap, create a sharp edge. Fade it out. Make it a little bit hard right here. And grab our eraser tool. Cut in gradually. Cut in different directions. You'll get more of these. You'll create more like hard shapes. So sometimes you want it, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you want not a lot of that. You just want to cut in straight across. It's gonna be too big of a shape, but we can go back in. Soften some of these edges. This looks a little bit weird. This almost looks like flowers. These flowers are real wrinkly up close. They kind of look like this. What song is this? I forget. That's right. I don't think I know the name of it, but I've listened to the soundtrack a lot. Whoop. I know I'm not gonna like that edge, but we'll see. Oh shit, that looks pretty good. So yeah, just get some nice unity in here. That shape is a little bit distinct. Having distinct shapes will cause them to be picked out by the eye, and they kind of can attract. And this looks like I went too dark, but it looks more like shadow shapes, like core shadow shapes, meaning facing away from the light source, which is not what we want. We're just looking to create cool values and texture. So cut into this a little bit, smooth it around. Still going strong. Man, going on so good. I didn't mean to click that. I would love a new good Goemon. So many of them aren't good. There's a bunch like on DS and stuff. And PlayStation. I think they had a PS2 one. Just was kind of bleh. Never played them, but they looked bad. It's weird, like going back to play Goemon 64. The game is not good. It's like these huge open spaces and stuff. Like the robot battles are awesome, but I just love Goemon so much. It's hard to be mad at him. Oof, I like that shape. So it's good to like cut in and out. So it's like, you know, we have this like swoop. It's like we're cutting into it, but then we're like leaving these like C shapes, sort of. That just needs to be like a value. Just straight up. I don't even know what that's from. But best friends play, say it all the time. Now it's like just pissed at this thing. So I'll just smear the hell out of it, cut back into it. It's like still there, that exact shape. It's pissing me off. So I need to just make it more gradual. And again, like if you end up erasing most of it, but you have just these little, you know, wisps hanging out that are real low opacity, they look good. They're helping your game out. There we go, 5% to sort of smooth this out. Anyway, Goemon 64 is just like these huge open spaces, and I mean, I do like watching the speedruns of it though, because it is like an adventure game and it's long. There's funny stuff in it. Really, really funny sound clips. See, I did this sort of double shape too much, and that creates a... This thing's badass. That first one I did looked so good. It's always the case. Alright, I'm just gonna move on to the next one. Just keep it simple. Try not to do the same shapes. Let's go almost vertical then. Oh, I like how that looks already. Corner shapes I never get tired of. I had a painting instructor that's like, don't put... Well, that painting instructor had a painting instructor that said don't put triangles in corners. And, I could understand that. But, this is my house. Try 20%. I'll make them a little bit too wispy. Like, I mean, you want wispiness, but you want, like, solid defined edges. That's kind of the point of using a hard edge. Cut into that a little bit. Being a little bit more methodical about this. Keeping the edges a little bit dark. That's sort of like a key look that works. Like you cut in, but you leave the edge dark, like right along. Like here's the value shape. And against the light, you keep it dark. Can even go back in and accentuate it. Like already, this looks better. Kinda didn't like that painting instructor though. I feel like he gave up on me. Dude, it's like my first time painting. You want to be like thinking I should be a pro artist already? This wasn't college. Like, but I mean, seriously, it's not. The oils aren't easy, dude. I remember on our final, like I had this sketch, and he's like, "Yeah, whatever, just do it." Like literally, I'm like, "Fuck you." You know, I ended up doing something else, and it was really good, and he liked it, which is surprising. Just like tired of me. Like one time we were doing this thing where it's like you do this glaze. It's like this old technique where you mix a bunch of different like mediums and like takes forever, and it looks really good in the end. A lot of old paintings have it, and anyway, I was like working with it, and I was like, "Yo, my shit's turning green," and he's like, I just have this real distinct memory, and he's like, "You got paint in your medium?" And I'm like, "I don't know, like what the fuck? Like you're like painting because you have to do it in layers. Like I don't know how the hell everyone else didn't." Like Jesus, this guy. Anyway, this was a good painting though. They were self-portraits, but mine was green, and so my friend Heather kept calling it the Hulk picture because I look kind of grumpy in it, and like I got this green paint in it, and man, I don't know. Like, I don't want to fucking, like, have to clean my paintbrush every time, like, thoroughly. Shit's dumb. Don't do oil painting. Just kidding. Let's check this out. Oh. It's a little too strong, but we're going to cut into it and smooth it out. It looks dope. It almost looks like reflections. That's why I like this technique, too. It just accentuates that, and then we have the actual reflections coming through. Oh yeah, we still have a lot of work to do. We're gonna have to create more variety. I still need a way to pop these out a little bit better, but this already looks really good. We're lacking sort of gradient shifts across like every little tile, and that will go a long way too. We'll go in and do that. It'll help separate them out. Dude, this one looks so good. Love it. It's a little too dark, but it looks so good. I think it matches okay. Still not in love with it, how it matches. Might have to adjust it a bit. Luckily, these are dynamic assets, and we can just change the colors easily. I actually meant to do that a little bit nicer, but we can go back and tile it, it's fine. Check it out over here. Sorry, I got paint in my medium pen. I don't even remember his last name. And I was like so pissed because he was like a skateboarder. Like he was young, not like super young. Like we were in our 20s or whatever, and he was like, you know, 30s, mid-30s, but he was like a skater, and like that's cool. And he was like always like drawing like skate influenced stuff. You know, some of it was like influenced by more of like the culture of it, and then other times it was just like, I don't want to sell them short because they were good paintings, but it was kind of like more like still life of like skate stuff. Anyway, it just really fucking pissed me off when I wanted to do anime stuff, and he was like shitting on it like every time, and I'm like, dude, you draw skateboards every painting. Oh man, one of my best friends in college, she loved him, and he was like a good teacher. Like so many people liked him, but I feel like he just like gave up on me like way early on. You know, I did this cool graffiti robot at the end of the class. It was awesome. Anyway, I am thinking. Just trying to decide what to tackle next here. The eternal struggle, no doubt. I fought with teachers all the time. I was not a good student. In fact, I was a very bad student. You know, smart or whatever, but still so dark here. Just got bad grades in a lot of classes. I had this one class called geological hazards, and it was really cool. You learn about volcanoes and earthquakes and stuff. And you know, I didn't ever read. This is assigned reading. And I didn't have a good grade in that class. But people ask questions all the time, like in class. And this guy, he was like kind of quiet, like just this older dude with a beard. He wasn't very talkative, like only talked about like the shit that was in the book or whatever. And I just remember asking a question, and this had like never happened. I'd never seen him mad or anything, and he's like, "Fuck." This is in like really loud, like he was super pissed. He's like, "That was in the assigned reading, Tyler." And if you would actually do the reading, and I was like, "Fuck, I can't." I just can't win. And like usually I'm like, you know, keeping my head low in that class, and like the one time I like peek out, it's like I get fucked. It's funny. Luckily, my two, this is gonna sound terrible, but my two lab partners were these really pretty girls, and the lab assistant for it was like always just hanging out with us, so it's like it made the assignments really easy because he would just like tell us what's up. I know that's awful, but it was nice. So let's try on a couple of these, that gradient thing I'm talking about. So basically what I do on a whole new layer, and we only do it based on like each tile. And basically we do this sort of will create what am I trying to say here? I'll just show it. Just do gradients across. Had a better way of doing this. I think I do something similar where I just take this, we start darker, just do a gradual gradient across. Spacing? It's just my tablet's old. It's the first thing I bought out of college. I guess it's like, I guess it's not that old, 2007. Ugh. Well, it seems silly, but this looks nicer than using the gradient. But basically, we're doing that same thing, but we're doing it in like a where we create a value shape and then cut into it with the eraser. But we do it sort of relegated to each tile, and it's about creating value like across the whole thing. Kind of, you know, create. And we'll do that too. We'll kind of work on these seams a little bit more. Sort of have some value coming out of them. So let's see. We're gonna have that one that's darker. Not the exact effect I had wanted. I'm gonna try again. Just gonna delete that layer. Let's try it with just the gradient. I feel like the effect is really only apparent when you do it on all of them. Basically, it just makes a contrast to like how each tile is like sitting. It's like very slight. Like you're trying to say that like these are set just slightly not the same. Let's see how that looks. And this is real dark. We'll probably lessen it. I mean, there's like a quality to that. It's not ideal. But it's more like we've just created different values for each one of these. Farther across. What? Oh, you missed it? Yeah, it was funny. Just talking about an old painting teacher. You can watch the VODs. Just kidding, if you're real curious, I'll tell you again. Oh, fuck. Sorry, I almost dropped a controller. Final destination. I don't know what you talking about, dog. can actually go different directions too. I should have been doing that instead of just... Even though these white ones are different, I kind of did the same thing across them all. It's kind of annoying. Move that a bit. And actually, new layer. Same thing, but with white. 10%. 20%? I want this below all this. I don't like the white to be the boss. You're not the boss of me, white. That was pretty bright. Said this earlier too, but 64 million colors still isn't good enough. Can't wait, seriously. I hope it happens like within the next few years where I don't know what the fuck we're gonna do, but it would be nice to work in a program that has more than 64 million colors, but I don't know what it would be like. How the fuck I would write shaders and stuff. Sorry, I'm swearing. My mom says I'm a natural swearer. It's because I didn't swear for a long time. Let's see how that looks. Got a bit of variety. Kind of weird, kind of not good, actually. Drop this down. Even if it's just super subtle, it'll add a little bit. Alright, yeah, see, so that's creating a little bit of fogginess. That's looking pretty cool. We just keep working at it. Yeah, oh man. Like, it's like such a minor thing, but that, man, actually could. Still not quite as illustrative as I want, you know, to match like these. Coming to a close? We've really been listening to so long? Damn. Well, there's a straight up Famicom one, but it's like, it's hardcore and it's like just really intense. It plays like a single measure of every like NES song. It's all hardcore. Super C. Star Soldier. That's pretty good. Put that up. It's a little loud for me. Oh, 30-bit cut. Most humans can't really see more than that. Does me more. Man, I feel like they have to be able to see more than that. Also, I want super monitors that can like really like eliminate light. Like when you look at like old paintings that like they just get so black. It's so cool. I mean, I know that's like has to do with like reflections on the monitor and stuff, but I can't wait for the future is what I'm saying. Oh yeah, this is good. Dude, I had all these like sweet ass, I think Sunsoft made this game. There's like a ton of like Sunsoft shit right here, and then, you know, this happens all the time, but like that channel got in trouble, and so it's like 4 really great like OSTs. And I didn't know the names of them, like they're all like these Japanese only like shooters and stuff. I don't think all of them are Japanese only, but so I think we just need to do another hit. Well, this is nonsense. Just add more value, add more interest here. We're going to be going all the way across. Careful, Tyler. The tiles. I guess they're like literal tiles, so hopefully it doesn't look bad, but we'll have to see. 20%. How could you? Tyler is ramped up. Dude, I don't know if you saw my tweet. I was like super pumped for chicken tacos. Rotten chicken. It smelled horrible. Like it didn't smell bad. Like it smelled strong, and I was like a little bit worried when it was still frozen. But I really wanted chicken tacos, so started cooking it, and oh man, like 5 seconds into cooking it, like as soon as it like got hot, it was like, oh god. And it's my fault. I mean, fault is a weird word in this scenario, but like just everyone going to Albania, like we kept like changing dinner plans. You know, I just left the chicken in the fridge too long. Is the moral of the story here. Look at that. It's a little messy. Some of these shapes I just want to get rid of. They bug me. This other layer here. Let's take a look. Which ones really bother me? Because they seem more like creases rather than like marble shapes. Can also go nuts with this. Big sweeping value shifts. It's gonna tile. Oof. Thought that would look a bit better. Looks kind of bad. Huh. Actually looks like really bad. It's like the regular shader. Yeah, I think just too dark. I'll have to use light instead. Makes it look really smoky. It's not really the look I want. I guess there's a quality to it. It's okay. Just look at that there, I guess. This nerd doesn't even have anything going on. Straight up in here. Really not do anything in there? It's kind of funny. Do I delete it? No. Fault in our dinners. Good black would be nice. We got old IPS modders. Have a purpley glow and they're supposed to be black. That's funny. Ultra matte black. Yeah, dude, it would be great. Yeah, right? Like cell phones look so good. Now I want chicken tacos. Dude, it's basically all I lived off of when I was by myself. And now supermarket. I mean, I know a lot of supermarkets do this, but where I used to live, it didn't have these. Anyway, just pre-chopped chicken. So it's like, get home, dump the chicken, fudging, put the seasoning on there, deep fry your torts, live the dream. God, they're so good. My God, I love chicken tacos. So I'm just trying to add a little more interest here. Just adding shadow shapes. So I'm gonna do soft now. Real big, real low opacity, shape dynamics on. Just sort of could even work at the cracks here. I wanted to do that last. Working with this thing really big is, I feel, gives the best results. This song almost sounds like Mega Man X, like X4, like PlayStation era. Not sure when this game came out. Although I think this is this the one that was on 64, or maybe a version of this game in this series. Did I really not? Oh, they're there. It just wasn't showing up. These are still really huge. I feel like I could tile this one more time, and I just might do it. Because at maximum, like, it's never going to be this huge on the screen, you know what I mean? And that's kind of like what you should keep in mind when you're doing that stuff. It's like, is this going to show up this big in the scene? Walls tend to, like, you can kind of get away with that, but like the floor, it's like, I mean, depending on the game. And, you know, people like to zoom in. You know, ideally, we'd all have, you know, 4K textures just all over. What? Oh, I think I know what it is. It's like a shadow shape I couldn't find. You've gotten a little too dark in places. Then you can just lower the opacity. Just thinking. Chicken tacos are the only like store-bought thing I still do, so I use just like packaged taco stuff. And I prefer just, there's this just salsa from the farmer's market. And there's this one like couple, and I don't like it as much with chips, but it's so good on tacos. And I'll put green chilies on there sometimes, fresh green chilies. I could eat fresh green chilies plain, they're so good. Yeah, and I use sharp white cheddar. Sometimes Jack, but like, I don't know, lately a lot of the Jack I've been buying doesn't taste good. I mean, I like sharp white cheddar. And I only like that on tacos. Usually that sharp cheddar's too strong for me, I don't like it. But on tacos, I think it's because like the deep fried tortillas get a little bit sweet. And it just goes really good with the bitter. Just trying to define some of these edges. It's just kind of lacking. It needs, like, seriously, just some like lighting shit like this, but it doesn't look good. Now it's gonna, you know, create striped lines going across here. Just can't really do that too much with floor tiles. I don't like that white one that pokes through. What layer was that? Did I get rid of it? Maybe get rid of it. No, that's it right there. Just gonna this thing. It's just too much. Too much light right there. Just lacks completeness. I know it's like a stupid term, but I can't figure out exactly what we need here. stupid. That looks hideous. So I have a desaturated layer on top of dude, that was like saying it's weird. I know the preview layer like made it look like I was cutting into this at like 100%. It's weird. Anyway, I have a desaturated layer on top of the colored layer, and I'm just kind of cutting into it. The eraser. Be better off doing the smooth eraser, but yeah, it's just too messy. That's something we'll want to do, but no, it's not looking good. Huh. Just not sure how to approach this right now. I mean, it's almost there, it's just not solid yet. It lacks definition, but you don't want too much contrast on your floor tiles. It looks bad. Like, it's distracting. I mean, I know there's already a lot. It's like a checkerboard, but yeah, that looks nuts. Turning weird colors. Don't know why. It's really pretty for what it is. Like down in here, I don't know why it's going that color. It's nuts. I'll just multiply. It'll get real dark though. That's. Huh. That's more like it. It's almost something. Just don't quite feel like tiles, but I don't want them to be tiles that pop out like these. They're supposed to be smoothed out. Just not sure how to get that look. I just need more details. I can kind of thought this was the wrong move, but maybe it isn't. So I'm going with our white. Bad jack. Nice. You're a goofball. Whatever. I don't know what that means. Oh! What do you know? It's like the stamp tool again. I'm going in with white. Go kind of thin. 5%. And you kind of like define edges. It gives it a lot of depth. God, I thought 5% would be. Let's go like 2%. Having these sharp focus lines, you know, gives you, like I said, focus, and it, I don't know, it just does a lot when you have like all this like smooth nonsense everywhere, the smoky stuff, and then you have stuff that you can focus on a little bit better. This thing is so rough for how good it looks. You kind of just have to mess around and see what edges look good when you define them, because some won't look good. This one going down the middle here. It's a little bit weird, but it look good. That's good. This is real low opacity. I just worry that this isn't the exact material I want, you know what I'm saying? Like, it'll look good. It's going to make it a little bit more rocky. Did we hit the cool song yet? No, we didn't. Good. Must be one of the bonus tracks. Or like bonus round tracks. I mean. Dun, 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 dun. We're all going left and right. I need some vertical lines. See how that's even looking. You know, it looks good. It's really up in this one. This guy's just the jam. I don't know why they don't all look that good. Using a soft brush here, but sometimes a hard brush is a little bit better. Just felt like soft was good here. I mean, one way to look at this, you're just basically outlining your shadow shapes here. But you're trying to create, like, you know, you're trying to highlight the peaks. Just with a real sharp brush. So, looks a little bit better up here. It looks really dope. Go a new layer. Work a lot bigger. Gosh, even at 2%, it's like too bright. Just trying to create the same stuff. There we go. Transfer on. Just sort of value shapes, we're going light instead. So that will give us a little more just overall depth to the texture. So we're pulling in both directions, dark and light. And we'll see. Might just be really cloudy looking. Looks a little bit better. Yeah, looks a lot better. It's almost there. Just gotta keep working at it still. Just needs more definition. What if I could just be dirty and Control A, Control Shift C, Control V, filter, sharpen. Actually, this is really common practice. If you look at a lot of textures on really nice games, up close you can see the, like, super obviously use the sharpen. Don't want to overdo it. I don't blame him, man. It looks real good. It's a tool to use it. That's a little too sharp, but it looks pretty cool. These shapes are coming through. They look more like tiles rather than marble. Oh yeah, this is a jam. I love this song. It's so good. That looks pretty dope. Still, it's just lacking a bit. These tiles are just too uniform still. So how to break that up? I don't know. It's a bird. You're so cool. I don't know if I should highlight the edges or like... And I don't do sharpen that often. I kind of want stuff to fade in the background, but I'm just kind of struggling with this to be look nicer. Anyway, that should be your last step because you don't want to be working on that. Well, that white actually helped a lot. Maybe I'll do it a little bit more. Maybe I'll do the dumb thing where I change the value of every single tile. Usually that looks better like on bricks and stuff, but already hit up that. Oh no! Did not want to do that on that layer. Already up here. Merry Christmas, kids. Just to watch Cheesecake Anime. See you around! What the hell's in that link? I don't want to click on it. A little bit nuts. Grab this. Down the middle. The interesting thing is when you have a flat value against a bunch of gradients, it creates this nice shimmer. So hopefully this will shimmer a bit. Flatten these out. What's next? I really wish some of these, let's look in the, back this up, boy, look. All these dumb poker videos are in my recommended now because Shane's like, ooh, that's a good one. Teenage girl twerking. Wow. Who are you, Judgmental Fairy? I guess I'll just try that. I just feel like that's not the right approach for this. I wonder if I just need to keep fidgeting and just defining this more. New layer. I know I wanted to go in and hit these cracks in a more definitive manner. So, soft brush. Space it out a little bit. The soundtrack's so good. Flashy goodness. Pretty popular producer. This game's pretty neat too. I would recommend checking it out. Tower of Heaven. Gonna give it 10%. Should pull out a bit. I can't believe that is actually what the video is. It's so stupid. So we're just hitting these cracks with dark values. This tiling looks good. It's turning out, so that's good. Just still lacking. See if that's adding anything really. Yeah, it is adding definition. Doesn't need. Look at this guy. He's just so cool. Just the best tile. Do that thing. Maybe I'll try that. So similar. To that other value textured stuff I do. Take a big little brush. 30% with black. Just as black all the way. Transparent. Paint in a lot of value. It's like some clouds. Then we pull it out too. Why does it do that? Why does it do that? Oh my god. Don't give me a weird brush. Oh my god. I don't want that shit. So weird. I don't get that. I kind of poke with it, kind of creating like cloud shapes. Is that really the end of it? No, I didn't think so. Let's see where that is. So that's in there. Not quite the look. You can see this like. It looks so good. Ugh. She was wearing a Christmas hat. That changes everything. try this one thing I do. Go 3%. The rectangle. You just change the overall value of all of them. On a per tile basis. I feel like I just made them all darker. I feel like that did nothing. Well, I guess I'll try doing some highlights. I feel like that's kind of what we're missing. I just really don't want these to pop out too much. I want them clear, but I don't want them popping up. Their height, I need them to be flat. Give us this look. It's like oof. It's exhausting. That's what I did on the other tile. Just every single tile got attention. Did that do anything? Barely anything. Oops, I got to save. So there's that look, but it's, I think it's ideal for this. Nope. I don't get hurt having that, but maybe these cracks just need was 73, right? dark. I'll definitely push that stuff down. Sure, it looks better though. Trying. Kind of better. Maybe a little bit too much there. Kind of changes the overall look. Why do you hate me? Not sure that's good at all. Sure really helped anybody. This is a recent remix. I've never heard this version. Ugh. I don't like it. Not at all. It's seasonal, no doubt. Try and give more interest to these shapes. Yeah, it's more interesting. It's kind of the idea I wanted from the beginning. A little better. I think I need to really ramp that up. Thank God. It's fun. Oh, this soundtrack's gonna start kicking ass, which is kind of boring. It's like out of range. I thought it was just a regular one. That's looking a little better. It's kind of neat, but I don't think it looks as good. Kind of nice about that, but not great. I think the size is really perfect. Good, I don't have to worry about it. See, that looks nice. Dude, I don't know why the shader, like, does that shit. Actually, it's also gradient map. This is dangerous. I like it. Ooh. Ooh, that's dirty. A little too much, but it's fun. Really? It still shows up that much? Kind of cool. Keep that in mind. Something to work with. Sup, y'all? Gradient maps. I literally just dropped a gradient map. Do Kirby again? Hopefully the sound is low if you guys hate it. I just love these. Oh, this is the final one. I'll listen to them in order again. Is this not... Let's see. Okay, it's just really showing up. Dude, like, barely. God, I love these mixes, they're so cool. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Crazy how much it shows up in the scene. Must be the light. What you, homie? What you up to? Yeah, it needs to be. Maybe gold may not even be the answer, but to show that's. Oh my god. It's meant to have been metallic the whole time.